after fire destroyed part of the Garissa power station. The fierce inferno reportedly destroyed several power transformers, further compounding the power crisis that has hit the town in recent months. The fire gutted parts of the station, including the main control room, before it was contained. Hundreds of residents gathered around the station as efforts to contain the fire were initially hampered by a lack of fire engines from the county government. The fire was finally put under control after the Kenya Defence Forces brought in their engines as well as water bowsers from various local organizations. The Garissa County Governor visited the scene and reassured residents that normal services will resume as soon as possible. Prison warders at the Naivasha GK prison have arrested a woman trying to sneak powder used for explosives into the prison. It was suspected that the powder could have been used to make explosives for use by inmates in an attempt to escape by blowing up a section of the wall.
She had carried some bar soaps, but when the prison officers were searching the bar soaps, they found some stacked substances which looked like can powder. So police have launched investigations to establish the origin of these substances.
Now, 2 days after the KCSE examination results were announced, Oldebes High School in Baringo County is celebrating a performance by an extraordinary student, a mother of two who conquered all odds to attain a grade that many couldn't achieve.
Mercy Kipngok cannot hold back tears as she recalls the countless hurdles she faced as a mother and student. At just 20 years old, Mercy found herself an orphan in an abusive marriage, and with 2 children, the hardship made her contemplate suicide. She took solace in her childhood dream, her desire to become a doctor. This motivated her to go back to school. She went out of her way to be both a good mother and a good student, finding time in between her 2 demanding duties to burn and sell charcoal for income.
Wananiambianga mama unaenda shule, nakaambia yeye naenda. Sasa wewe unapendelea kwa nini? Kaambia aki nitakudunga siku moja usijali. You go to school, work hard, even me I go and work hard.
Mercy's exceptional determination paid off when she scored a B- in the 2013 KCSE exam, which did not come as a surprise to her teachers, who remember her as a dedicated student.
She really was a hard-working student. From the time she joined this school, she was actually focused.
Mercy's achievement now serves to encourage other students, a group of mothers who have gone out of their way to make their lives better.
If you look at my Form 3, about 50% of them have children at home. Now, supposing these mothers were at home, what would they be doing now? They would be rotting.
Mercy now prays she will get the financial help she needs to further her education, not just for her sake, but for her 2 children who look up to her.
And congratulations to her. Now, the cabinet retreat in Nanyuki has entered the 2nd day today, with President Uhuru Kenyatta continuing to chair the crucial meeting of several senior commanders of security services who have also joined the cabinet secretaries at that crucial retreat. Now, our reporter Kendago Obadia joins us live on phone from Nanyuki. He has the very latest. Kendago, bring us up to speed on what day 2 has looked like at this retreat.
Well, it is true that the cabinet retreat is ongoing, and very, very high-profile people today joining in just to show that this is a very, very crucial meeting and involving very, very critical issues affecting the country. Today we have witnessed the presence of the Kenya Defence Forces boss, General Julius Karangi. We also have here the NIS Director Michael Gishangi, and we have the Inspector General of Police David Kimayo, all these security top officials in the country. Just an indicator that today the meeting could be going heavy on security issues affecting the country, looking at how our security issues have been handled before.
Yeah, Kendagori, of course we discussed this yesterday and did in fact mention that security would be one of perhaps the tough nuts to crack, if you like, as the President prepares to offer a State of the Nation address that will be going out in Parliament. Could you perhaps just give our audience a rundown of what the major challenges they would be looking at addressing? Certainly there is a question of Somalia, of terror that we've witnessed, and perhaps any others that you could just bring our audience up to speed on.
Well, looking at how our country has been faring on security-wise, first of all, number one priority that has been a challenge is access to critical information in terms of intelligence. The country's intelligence have been struggling, and I think that is the reason why we have the National Intelligence Services Director right here, maybe so that this kind of reactions rather than being proactive does not affect us. If you look at the issues that the miseries that surrounded the Westgate Mall attack by terrorists, it's all about lack of information, lack of sufficient early enough information, and that is what that's one of the major challenges. One of the major challenges that the security portages will be looking at today. And we're also looking at synergies, how these security organs work together. We're looking at the Kenya Defense Forces. We're looking at the police, how they need to work together. You remember one of the problems that made it so difficult for our security forces to deal with the thugs and the terrorists that attacked Westgate Mall is because there were no synergies. The Kenya Defense Forces did their work as they know how, and the police also did theirs as they knew how. And so all this with lack of synergy is one of the greatest challenge that we have security-wise in the country. And of course, finally, we're looking at resources. If you look at what has been proposed in the last cabinet meeting is equipping the security portages, giving them surveillance, facilitation, that is the aircrafts, motor vehicles for patrols and such. So those are the kind of challenges we have in the country as regards security.
All right, Kendago, just before I let you go, we understand that what was to be a 2-day retreat has been extended to a third. Do you have any indication as to why the cabinet will be holding that meeting for a little longer?
If I heard the president very well yesterday, and he talked of at the tail end of this meeting inviting a committee of budget, in parliamentary committee on budget to come here. It's because we are now in the National Assembly. And so quite a number of issues are coming up. They entered into this conference thinking that they would be just dealing with cabinet, and you can see now it's opening up to security, it's now opening up to parliament. That would require more time. This is a holistic approach to issues affecting the country at the moment and the way forward for the Jubilee government.
All right, Kendago, I want to thank you for your report and keep covering that story for us. Our Kendago Obadia live in Nanyuki. Let's move on to other stories now. And a case in which a woman is accused of stabbing her mother to death failed to proceed yesterday as the Director of Public Prosecutions had not availed the case file to the prosecution. Bernadette Njoki is alleged to have killed her 64-year-old mother at Kehoyo village on the night of the 23rd of February after sending a threatening message to a Presbyterian church deacon. Now, according to statements to the police, the mother was resting in her living room alone when Njoki approached her with a knife and allegedly stabbed her to death before dragging her to her bedroom. On the 26th of February, Detective John Muli asked the court to allow the police to detain Njoki, who is an adopted daughter of the slain woman, for a further 7 days to allow the completion of investigations as the case was, quote, complex. From Nyeri to Kakamega now, and traders in that town have this morning engaged the police in running battles after taking to the streets to protest against what they term as high levies being charged by the Kakamega County government. The traders lament that the signing of the county finance bill by the governor, Wycliffe Oparanya, has ushered in an era of heavy taxation burden that is being imposed on them, lamenting some of the taxes like that for seeking a business permit have been increased from between 2 and 999 shillings, I believe. The angry protesters did storm the governor's office, demanding an explanation before they were dispersed by police in anti-riot gear. Now, Hardy Kenya and the Kenya Administration Police Community Outreach Program has launched a campaign in Laikipia County to fight jigger infestation. Speaking during the launch of that program at Gatero Primary School, County Governor Joshua Irungu said the campaign is aimed at encouraging residents to maintain good hygiene. It will mostly target school-going children, majority of whom come from poor families. Joshua Irungu at the same time challenged residents of the county to team up with security agencies in fighting crime and report suspects to the police for immediate action.
Okay, sijui kama hiyo timu yote umeiona hapa, tumekubaliana ya kwamba tumelaunch mulandi wa hadi hapa Laikipia County, tupigane na mambo ya jigas hapa Laikipia County, tuiondoe yote.
So much more news updates lined up for you here at Citizen Live at 1. Don't go too far. We're taking a short break.
Don't miss the Barclays Kenya Open 2014, one of the most prestigious golf tournaments in Africa, from 6th to 9th March at the Karen Country Club. Advanced daily and seasonal tickets available